Okay, welcome back. Today, I hope you can see me because this camera I use is not that good in low light. To tell you the honest to God truth, but it's good for other things. Right now we are in the middle of going to be finishing editing up a video to export to YouTube. And then I gotta edit a little Instagram clip, 1-minute clip of my homie and send it to him. And I took some pictures the other day, and I have to transfer them to my iPad to do some editing on my iPad with them, because my computer, I need to take it in or figure out how to rearrange everything on the hard drive, because my startup disk is completely full, and I can't edit on the program on the computer with the pictures because there's not enough memory to export the pictures into the photo thing. So that's what the main beast right here, and I use that one for this stuff. But right here we were doing some stuff here. So I gotta add some stuff here. You know, just put some stuff on the end of it. And if you watch this, I never finished that beat video that I talk about in this video. I didn't finish it because it just felt unfinished because my camera died and it was just not cool. So I'm gonna export this and come back and do some more editing, because I also gotta make some graphics for some socks and some new graphics that are coming out that I talk about in this video that I'm exporting if you already watched it. This is some music action that I'm gonna throw into the video. This is a new beat I made the other day. We're almost done editing. There was a little things I had to clean up. You know, this.
We're about to be jumping off and banging on everybody.
I just dropped this stuff off at my shop. Oh, it's not my shop, it's my grandpa's garage. Alright, we fixed it. Now we gotta make sure everything...
To the store.
Sometimes it looks like I live in my car. And the other day I spilled coffee in my car and it spilled all over my back seat. Alright, we gotta fix this up right here. But this is easy peasy. Fixie roozy. So we gotta figure out where this... Right there. And right there. And you always have to render stuff. In editing, there's a lot of rendering going on. The clips and the stuff. There's a lot of rendering. It's almost like a mix down. If you're doing audio, you have to mix the track down. There's a lot of rendering. And you just gotta make sure everything is on point, you know? You just can't have it.
To the store.
Hey, what's up? Day 2. Even though that I do these daily, and it's a run and gun type of situation. You have to make whatever you're making make sense in the timeline. You have to make a story out of it, even though it's a daily thing. Like right now, I'm talking to you guys. There's a story behind this. Even though that I don't have a script, I know what's going on in my head, what I want to put out. So when I'm done shooting this video, and I throw it into the computer and start editing it, I know exactly how I want it to go. And that's the way you got to do it with everything. Everything has to make sense. You just can't, like, the way I learned is, you know, if you're gonna cut every single scene, you cut every single scene. Fade in and fade outs, like a fade in is like for when the beginning of the movie, okay, you fade it in and then you're going. And like a fade out is like, okay, that scene is over, we're moving on to the next. So in the beginning of this, I start my day, I make breakfast, and I fade out. I don't fade in, I do a hard cut in, but that's just the way I'm doing it. But I fade out after I'm done making my breakfast, because that's when the music ends. So that part of my morning is done. So you want to hit this off. See, I'm cooking the eggs, and now I go back, and now it's done. I'm done with that part of the day, and now
Now we're starting
the day off into a whole nother scene. And the way that, you know, if you want to do jump cuts in between, that's okay, but don't put a transition in between those jump cuts, because that just throws people, that in my opinion, it throws everybody off. Like, oh, it's still part of the same thing that you're talking about, but you did a cross dissolve in between the jump cuts, so it makes it seem like you started over. But I know the jump cuts on the YouTube right now are popular, and you know, the hard jump cuts. But the way that I'm trying to explain things is you don't want to always just use a fade in, fade out all the time. Like, cause fade in, fade out, like a fade in to a new scene, to the beginning of the scene, and fade out to that scene when it's done. Like, that scene is done. You don't want to fade out and then fade back into something that you were just, you know, doing. You want to fade out. Okay, that scene is over with. Fade out, and then fade into the new part of whatever you're doing during your day, or if you're making a movie, or even like a skate video. Like, okay, he does a line. Like, skate videos should just have hard jumps, hard cuts the whole way. And the only time you want to fade in, to the beginning of it, and then fade out at the end of the part. You don't want to put a fade in and a fade out in between, like, okay, he just did, or unless it goes with the music, however you're editing. But if you're just doing hard cuts and you just throw a fade out, okay, he did a line, okay, he skated a ledge, and then you fade out after he's done, and you fade into another thing. That's just, for the consumer, that just makes everything all just weird. It doesn't match up sometimes. It might look good, but it just doesn't make sense sometimes. So what I'm trying to say is, you didn't want to fade in to your beginning of your scene, fade out to that end of that scene, and don't just fade out like a fade out and then fade into the same scene. You don't want to fade in and fade out into the same scene. You want to fade up and then fade out. That scene is done, then cut to your next scene. That's what I'm trying to explain. If you got it, good. You can do it on any editing platform. Your fade in, fade outs, whatever you're using to edit with, you can do it on any platform. Any one. You just don't want to do the fade in, fade out in the same scene. That's just not right. So, thank you for watching this part of the video. If you like it, leave a comment and tell me what you edit with. Because I know it's the editing of times. Everybody's an editor, everybody's a producer, everybody's an MC, everybody's, you know, a beat maker. Everybody's everything that you do. But I take my craft pretty serious sometimes. Even though that this is just daily videos or every other day videos, I want to be on point of my editing skills and my beat making skills and my t-shirt printing skills and everything. So, thank you for watching again. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll get back to you here in a few moments. And guess what? I might throw in a fade out because this scene is over. Let's just see what happens.
Are you waiting for me to go?
I thought you were going.